Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome to this session. Thank you for joining us. I see people already from Granada, from Brazil, from Canada, from Georgia. So please sharing with us where you're seeing us live today. And thank you again for joining. We have a very important announcement today. So we have here Julio, the founder at FPP, and myself, Sebastian, the CEO at FPP. But before we go into the important content for today, remember at the very end, you will be able to win an annual plan. A full annual plan. We'll be making a quiz at the end of this presentation where you can win an annual plan worth almost $20,000, $19,500. So before we started that, thank you again for joining us and thank you for your messages. So now I start directly with Julio, the founder and current president at FPP here with us. Go ahead, Julio.
Thank you, Sebastian. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for coming here for this announcement, which is really important for us as a company. I know you guys are all busy, and I really thank you for your time today to listen to some stories and that we would like to share with you. I'd like to also say hello to our FPP team. I see we have many people joining us. After all, this has been like a long journey. FPP was founded in January 2nd, 1991. Sorry, 1997. Losing track. Okay, so that's what, 24 years, right? That's a long time. And today Sebastian has asked me to step in and to tell our story. Of course, I'm still involved. I'm completely involved with FPP. Sebastian is the CEO. Sebastian has been the CEO since last year, right, Sebas?
And 2019.
Yeah, so Sebastian is managing our team on the day by day. Sebastian and I talk about some goals and objectives, but Sebastian has been dealing with everything that takes place on the management day to day. I'm involved with our sister company, and so this has been working very well for us. So again, what I'm going to share with you, not many people know, right? I'm going to tell you a little bit about our journey, where we started, why we started, which way we started, and all the pivots, all the changes we had to make, all the challenges. Like everybody, I'm sure you guys have your own story. Every company have their own story. And I'm going to tell our story. And usually before, as you know, we did so many in-person events, and we would see you guys once a year, twice a year. And many people would, ask me, okay, why the name of the company is from FPP? And how did you guys start? So that's what we're doing here, okay? So FPP started January 2nd. There were two people, me and a webmaster, because if you guys remember, 1997, the internet was a baby. And, everyone was launching websites and being very successful, lots of investments. And I thought about creating a website because at the time there wasn't anything like what we see today, thousands of websites where you see listings and schools. There were things like, there was one website in the US called studyabroad.com that listed university, most for domestic studying. So I thought, because my background, I was an agent before. I mean, actually, I was still an agent when I launched the FPP. And I thought, why not creating a website, something new, and listing and asking universities to pay a fee to be listed and getting them in contact. So at the time, the whole market was in the hands of agents. As if you guys have been here long, you know that there were very little ways for university to market themselves. So the website was born. It was called estudionoexterior.com. That's a Brazilian Portuguese name that was meant for Brazilian students. Actually, the company started in a small garage where I owned a language school at the time. So there was a garage in the company. Okay, let's start here, 2 people. So the website was born, and we were, as any company that starts so small, we didn't have resources, we didn't have capital. When you don't have capital, we need to be very creative. And then through these years, because many years we were short in resources, but it was a good learning experience because we knew that by being creative and innovative, that would replace capital, money. So we were able, ever since the beginning, to try to come up with new things and being useful and trying to innovate, do things that people were not doing at the time. The website was launched. We end up attending some student fairs. We didn't like the student fairs, and we attended. And actually, in the meantime, there were the bubble. I don't know if you guys have been there, but 2000, there were a big internet bubble, and all the investments went away. Like thousands of websites got closed, and we had to decide what to do because, 1997, 2000, nobody wanted to pay for profiles online. And because we attended a student fair that we really didn't like, we saw in the fair students that we knew would never have the resources to go abroad. And we were there promoting our website because we had, since everywhere and all the time, you need audience. You guys want to recruit students in our that match your interests, right? And going abroad is expensive. And so we need to meet students that were affordable. And couldn't afford. And I knew because internet is big trouble. Can you hear me, Sebastian?
Now I can hear you. Yeah, we were losing you a little bit. Maybe your internet is unstable. But yeah, you can continue now.
Let me close all my sites here. I'll carry on. Anyway, so we decided to go online, and because at the time I live by the sea, and there were nobody coming investing in the website. No schools wanted to pay, and then I said, okay, now either we do something different, or I'm gonna sell sandwiches at the beach. And I didn't want to go. I wanted to go to the beach, but I didn't want to sell sandwiches at the beach. So we decided, okay, let's start doing student fairs. We knew nothing about events, absolutely nothing. We were a tech company. We were an internet company that had a website that had been learning for 4 years how everything works. But that's what we knew. We were no way an event company. So we went to organize events, and we decided our first event would be September 19th, 18th. So we decided to go to about 6 different cities in Brazil. But if you guys, I'm going to repeat the date. 2001, September 18th. So like this was like a week after September 11th in the US. So we were so very worried because airports were closed. And we didn't know, we had like 12 universities, and I remember most of them: the University of Alabama, the University of San Francisco,
San Diego State,
San Francisco. There were like a few, and Canadians, Heartland. There were some people that trusted us first time, crazy company, never organized an event. So it was a very difficult event, very. So we didn't have, we almost had, San Diego State, Bill was there. So we almost had no students because, number one, we didn't have the resource, right, to promote. And it turns out it was really difficult event. We did, after the road show, we thought, okay, what are we going to do? Am I going now really selling sandwiches at the beach, or are we going to try it again? So we decided to try it again. And the second time was better. And turns out most of the universities that came first time return to our events, and the events were better. And after the event, I said, guys, I really have to ask you, why did you guys come back, with us? And then they said, Julio, you and your team worked so hard that we decided to give you a second chance. So that was cool. And because we were not an event organizer, we didn't do things like other event organizers always did. So we did it differently. And by being different, we were able to organize events that were better. And that's why from when we started with no resources, and after a few years, if you say, today we are a very reputable company, I believe. And we went through all these years having in mind a few things that are extremely important. Number one, be useful. Companies that are not useful, they die, right? And how do we try to be useful? Number one, of course, we do events. More than that, we connect universities and students. We bring students, we give opportunities to students, because we have so many universities that come to our events. Every university bring an opportunity. And we like this. We like the feeling that we are helping students with a variety of opportunities, up to them to choose. So be useful. Then to innovate. Innovation has been in our DNA ever since day one, ever since when we started a website first time. If you don't count on studyabroad.com for domestic, we were the first one in the world to come to the internet and start doing this, and then pivoting, and then doing fairs where we basically, while all the other companies were handing out flyers, we were sending emails. We were using the internet as the source, and then creating. If you know the history of FPP, we always innovate. It's like 2-3 years we are coming with several different innovations. We have a reward program like the FPP points. I don't know any other company that does that. We had EduFindMe, which was the first social network, and that might come back in the future. We had events where we built systems where we are able to, sorry guys that I'm talking about ourselves, but I think it's important for you to know. Now that's our opportunity to say who we really are. So we are able to, we were the first company to launch the concept of smart events. When we started, what's a smart event? Before, universities would go to a fair and they would take cards and students would fill out cards. And then when they innovated, they start bringing a computer with an Excel file asking students to type. But that's all in 30, 40 years. So what we said, no, this can be better. So we create the concept of smart events first before anyone. That's March 2012, it was launched, where we got students online in Streamline until it was captured by the exhibitor. So when we introduced our app, exhibitors would get students' barcodes and would get all the information they needed. Actually, at the time, we would say, okay, instead of after the fair preparing reports to your boss, you just click a button, download a PDF with all the information, all the statistics on your booth and on the fair, send to your boss, download all the leads you captured, send to your team, and you can go have caipirinha, have a drink. So, there are so many different things that we've been doing first in innovating because we've always wanted to be useful. Because since we started with no capital, we knew that that's the only way to survive. And one thing that I'm very proud, there are lots of stories, but I'm not going to waste your time. Sebastian is looking at me. I think I already spoke too much. But one thing we proud ourselves is we know we are not perfect. We think we are very good for everything that we have behind the scenes that you guys don't have the chance to see, but every system we build, always leveraging technology to be one of the best. But one thing we proud ourselves is when we are not perfect, or there was an event that really turned out to be bad, we tell clients, you are not going to lose because we made mistakes. So we give credit to clients. Okay, we spent all the money, that's going to be our profit going back to you, but you trusted us, right? So you are not going to lose for something that we didn't do right. So sometimes we have had in our history, over 1,000 events, perhaps that happened 10, 15 times. But that's something that we are proud because that's who we are. And over the years now, another innovation, and we can talk about this later, is the virtual fair that we came up with this idea in some years ago. I cannot tell you the year because Sebastian has a question for you. But that's something we were able to see first. My whole point here is to say, yeah, we think we are very good in what we do, and we know we are not perfect, but we try our best to be perfect. And I think we are a company that you can trust, everything we do is to be useful. Well, I guess that's it. Before Sebastian fires me.
Thank you. Thank you, Julio. And I'll pick your last word to go on to the future. And you said it very well. I see some joining us from even California. I know it's very early there. So thank you, everybody, for taking the time today to listen to what we have to say and to see what we have to show you. But I'll take your last word, which is being useful. And that's exactly why this change is happening today and why we announced this event as introducing the new FPP. Because being useful, we can be useful to you, but our main client here at FPP is not the institutions, it's not the universities, it's not the colleges, it's the students. And that's where we need to be useful with the students, because without students, all of us, we would be selling sandwiches on the beach. We would be doing something else, because it's the students that make this having a sense. And that's the part that I love the most about working at FPP and working in this industry. I don't know. There's some people that, I don't know, they work, and no offense, is like they work on tire industry and they make tires and they help move people. That's fine. They help move people from here to other point. We help transform people. That's what international education does. And by transforming people, we end up transforming the world, because at the end of the day, by creating these connections, that is what we are doing here. We're creating connections, students and universities. We're creating connections between students and opportunities. We end up making a better world, because I am 100% convinced that international education is one of the key ways of understanding the different. The fact of a student, I did it myself, you did it yourself, Julio, and many of us here have studied overseas. 1 month, 1 semester, 1 full degree, doesn't matter. The simple fact of getting out of your comfort zone, being in a different country, exposed to different people, different food, makes you understand the world, that the world is different. Not better, not worse, just different. And that is what really helps into improving the world into a better place. So, considering the student and the student behavior, I'm not going to tell you my age, but I was 24 years old when the very first iPhone was launched. So the iPhone was launched in 2007, and I was already old. And if you consider the students that will be going to universities in the next 2 or 3 years, were those students that were literally born with the smartphone in their hands. And many of you probably have kids. And we're not saying that now. I remember a presentation almost a year ago with some Canadian universities. It was August 27, actually. And we were already saying this. The students have changed. So we cannot keep doing things the old way, because change is not about fighting the old, it's about inventing the new. And this is what we are here today for. And I will just shut up now, and if one image is better than 1,000 words, then a video is much better. So we'll start with a video now to show you the new FPP.
Began in 1997 as a website with the goal of connecting students with the world. It's been a long journey. We started innovating for you to see results until we became one of the largest in the industry. You don't become one of the largest by refusing to change, so we kept innovating, taking what we were doing and making it where we are going. The digital revolution changes everything. We know this, and so do you. At FPP, we don't resist, deny, or ignore change. The world is now different. Students have changed. Now it's time for us to evolve, to keep doing what we love.
Okay, so that was it. In order to keep doing what we love, that is bond the world, you will be seeing that a lot. We'll keep bonding the world, bonding students with universities, bonding universities with parents, bonding parents with opportunities, and so on. So we have decided to change the name of the company. It's not going to be FPP EDU Media anymore. It's going to be just FPP. And now I am proud to show you the new FPP website, and I will be showing you a little bit of what we have here in our website for you to check and to see what we have. So number one, our new domain is fpp.world, because that's really what we want to represent here. And by focusing on the website, this is what we're here for. We're here to bond people with people at the end of the day. Colleges with counselors with universities, high schools with parents, people with opportunities. And you will be seeing a lot of these shapes in our brand a lot, like this one. And I'm just keep going down into the website. So if all of these has a meaning into the new brand, this has been a very long process for us, in which it involved a lot of effort from all the team that I want to thank a lot, because this website was entirely designed internally by our team, with a very strong concept in the background. If you see all of these shapes that make our logo, the very small, like the parts of the F, the parts of the P, and so on, these all represent people. And I know it can be difficult to see, but these are the people we have in the back of the house making this possible. Because something that we were, as Julio said, we're a technology company, but something we feel in many of the technology companies, and especially in the virtual environment these days, is they're very cold. They're very not human. And that's what we wanted to put here. A very human team, a very strong team that is in the back of everything that we do. So we are people that is making this possible, to keep bonding the world between different people. So it's technology by people for people in this concept that we're bringing here today. So a fully renovated brand, a fully renovated concept on why we do what we do. And now, in order to show you this a little bit better, I would like to present another video that will explain this much better than what I did.
Here at FPP, we believe the future of student recruitment is virtual, and the future is already here. We are no longer bound by borders, cities, or flight paths. And through the use of technology with a human touch, FPP is here to bring together students and educators from all around the globe. With over 20 years experience in international student recruitment, our first virtual events were hosted in 2012. In 2017, combining our experience and passion for innovation, we launched our own virtual platform, which is now the home of all FPP events and provides the tools you need for successful recruitment and networking. Speaking of recruitment, how about spreading the name of your institution to over 2 million students? Yes, we've got that covered too. Through our student brand, The Student World, we host the largest virtual events, live sessions, digital marketing campaigns, and more to help you to reach and engage new audiences. Whatever, or rather whoever, you might be looking for, our range of digital solutions will connect you with the right student for your institution. FPP is more than just our virtual platform, events, and networks. We are people. FPP is made of a dedicated, caring, and experienced team that is here to help you make the right connections. Ready to bond the world with us?
Okay. So thank you again for joining us today. Hope you're liking the new branding that we have. And the big point here in the future being virtual, as I said before, is the fact of the students' behavior having changed. So today, students, they do everything online. They communicate online, they play online. How do you think they're going to search for a university? Online. And that's why at FPP, we don't resist change. And that's why back in February this year, we announced that we're going virtual for good, even when the pandemic is over. And the biggest point here, it's like with banks. Recently, I attended a presentation where one of the presenters said, I believe my kid will never step into a real bank anymore because it's newborn. Now, fintechs are revolutionizing the way that new people deal with banks. So it's the same in our industry. So that's why we decided to take that bold decision that I know at the beginning, many people said, hey, are you crazy? Are you going to abandon are you going to abandon physical events for good? Yes, because we believe the future is there, and that the student behavior is asking for that, and that's the only way to be useful, because if we're just doing physical events, we're not going to be useful for the student, and that's one of the key points here. So now I would like to bring Julio back into the point and launching the quiz, because we will be launching a quiz in order for you to win an annual plan. But Julio, Let's launch the question now before we speak a little bit about our annual plan. So
I'd just like to add something, Sebas, to our point. First of all, guys, we have things in the pipeline, more innovation. Okay, you guys are going to be seeing maybe by end of this year or next year. But one very important point for us is that technology makes a difference, right? When we match students to universities, we are not only helping students with save a lot of time, but we are also helping recruiters increase conversion rate, because when you know you're talking to a student that matches highly with you, that the chances for you to convert that student is higher. And when you know, because that is visible, and it's going to be more and more visible for you, right? Because why would you talk to a student that, I mean, it's great to talk to every student, but if we are able to send to you students that match higher with you, that will save more, that will increase the conversion rate, and should increase retention rate, because students today, they are very conscious about making the right decision. And one other point, everything technology, we can't do really this in person. But one very important thing today is about sustainability. If you see how virtual events are better, are more sustainable when compared to in person, it's crazy, right? I think it's a myth that using tech to virtually connect students with university is less effective. Done right, because we're not talking about Zoom here, right? It has to be done right. When done right, it's not only more engaging and productive for everyone, but it's also vastly less damaging to the planet. So that's the point I would like to make.
Yeah, and thank you, Julio. I totally forgot about that, but indeed, sustainability is a key point here. At FPP, with this brand change, we also decided to eliminate our carbon footprint for good. So we're going to be fully carbon free for your recruitment. The very first initiative we took on that is to plant a tree for every single virtual booth we host, because even though we're not involving traveling, or we're not involving planes and shipping brochures and so on, we still have a carbon footprint, because our computers run on energy, and the students' computer as well. So something that we have already done since the very first virtual event we hosted several years ago is already plant a tree. We have associated with Eden Reforestation Projects, a charity in the US that is planting the trees for us for every single virtual booth we host, and that represents already a mini forest of 7,000 trees. That's the number of virtual booths we have hosted since the beginning, and it's going to keep going in terms of sustainability, of eliminating entirely our carbon footprint in doing what we do. And again, we're not saying that travel is bad. Travel is excellent. What we are seeing here, that what we do, because we are on the very first level of disengagement, we are here to bond people. We're engaged, but we're in the very first level. Then you go on. And what we are saying is, travel may be better for the bottom of the pipeline, and not maybe at the very beginning. So rather than traveling to another country just to collect leads, you may collect leads online, and then you can convert those students by traveling and visiting right to them, making travel more meaningful rather than just what it was in the past, because the behavior of the students will prefer that, because their entire life is online. Why it would be different for connecting with a university overseas? Of course, students will never abandon the experience of studying overseas, of taking a plane, going to campus and living, because that of course is an experience. We're not saying students should study online. No, because you will not be getting all those benefits of studying overseas. And as we changed what we see into the future, we also changed earlier this year the way that these events are organized by you. And that's why we introduced our annual plans. And now I'm going to show you a little bit of what the annual plans are. But the very important part here is that the annual plans, you're going to be able to win an annual plan now with the quiz. So we're going to be giving out our starter annual plan. Let me get the screen again. And basically, our annual plans are a way to get more events and get more value out of your money. Because in the past, in order to book an event, in order to book a fair, you needed you first book the fair, then you book the plane, and then you ship the brochure. So it was a lot of complications, and each event was treated individually. Here, we're launching a plan in the way that we add a lot of flexibility, where you can choose, okay, I'm going to do 20 events for this year or 30 events. And that way you can mix and match, you can switch, you can cancel this one and then move to that one, because of course all the logistics of virtual events are much easier and less complicated for you. So today, what we are going to be giving away is a full subscription of our annual plan, our starter one, with a value of almost $20,000. And for that, we have a very important question to make here to you. So let's bring in the quiz. And I will bring Julio now again into the conversation, because the question is, what is the exact date of FPP's very first virtual event? And for this, I want to bring Julio again and ask him, because it was his idea. I remember in a meeting, and I might be giving you a tip here, a meeting at NAFSA in Houston. So all of those that joined, no, it's not September 18, 2001. So what was NAFSA in Houston? I remember talking about that. So Julio, what was the idea there? So no, September 19, 2001 was the very first physical event, not the virtual. So Julio, speak a little bit about that.
Okay, first of all, guys, I didn't remember this date myself. Okay, so don't feel bad. Well, the idea of creating a virtual fair plan, and the idea of starting virtually, that was 2000. Oops, I can't say. There was a long. I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a clue. 12 years ago. No, 9 years ago. Yeah. Okay, 2012. Okay, 2012. So the idea was, okay, I'm kind of restless. I might have like an OCD or something, because I can't keep still. I always want to do something different. I get bored. So with this, and the company benefits from this, because we end up creating, people go crazy because they have to, say, okay, let's invent the future. Okay, what do you mean? Okay, let's create this. But anyway, the idea of coming up with organizing virtual events was because, I thought, let's do something different, something that can be useful. And who knows what the future will hold, Actually, Sebastian was telling me the other day that when 2018, yeah. I gave a presentation to Canadian universities, because we were organizing an Edu Canada for all the Canadian institutions. You said in the reading that we are doing virtual events now because maybe we don't know what's going to happen. And then 2 years, we got COVID. So that was like completely, just gassed. But anyway, the idea was to help students. When we do in-person events, we target cities: Sao Paulo, Mexico, Bogota. And that's fine. That's fine. But how about all the other students that are not in the specific cities? How do we help them? Answer: virtual events. So virtual events, we get students from small, mid-size, big cities, and we are doing what we are supposed to do. Like Sebastian said, we are helping them, bringing opportunities for everyone, not for some people. So because there are lots of amazing leads everywhere, right? And by doing it, so that was the idea. Okay, let's do it virtually. And of course, people said, no, this will never happen. Okay, fine. We're used to hearing that. So we came up, we did it. Very briefly, it was very difficult in the beginning because we had to build our own virtual fair platform. As you guys know, from ground up. And technology.
Yeah, but not for the first event, not for the very first event. Remember, Julio?
Yeah, the first event
we rented the platform.
Yeah, the first event we decided to rent the platform, and we brought thousands of students, and the platform crashed. And then that was very bad. We were so excited, and I thought, okay, instead of helping this company, I am damaging this company because all the branding we had. What am I doing, right? But this platform was not really amazing. So I said, you know what? Let's build our own. We can do that. And it took us 2 years planning, and building, and technology. And when we put the platform first time, had lots of glitches. Why? Because it's a huge thing, huge. And technology, that's what happens, But anyway, cutting the story short,
that was the idea, to keep helping the students and to make it more democratic for students in other parts of the world to be able to get this.
At the same time, we help universities. Why? Because we reduce your cost of recruiting. How much, when you meet students from a large universe, us, FPP, it's less expensive to promote. That's why we are able to promote in so many different cities with a fraction of the price that we would have to charge if we had all these events in all these cities.
Indeed.
So it's good. It's a win-win for everyone. So we give more opportunity to students. We give, because more universities attend, we give opportunities to more students, like we are more democratic, opportunity speaking. And universities, we are able to reduce the cost. You guys, I don't know, and this is not the purpose of this meeting, but as an information, we talked to universities before, and they said 60% of their budgets, 60 goes to air hotels, 60. Then 40% was to events fees. Well, we are able to reduce your cost in 60%. And with the plans, our idea is you pay once, no, you don't need to worry about paying for a year. You can plan your events all over the world, right? One payment, that's it. And then go there, click, and register, right? And but there is a limitation. Sebastian probably will say, this is not open for every university because we cannot have 2,000 universities buying plans, right? So we are limiting. So you guys, so that's just a piece of information. It's a good. Okay, Sebas. December.
Let's go to. I see people that are getting very close. Thank you for joining and participating with throwing in dates. That's the idea. We need to get the exact date. So okay, you're right. It was 2012. Let's go for the second hint. I said a meeting at NAFSA. So at NAFSA in Houston, which was NAFSA in St. Louis, which was in 2012. We were deciding the small details. So it was the very last month of the year. Yeah. So it was December. It was 2012. We need the exact date of the very first event. And the first one who types that into the chat.
Some people are close.
It's close. Some people are getting very close. Guilherme, and some more are gonna come there. Oh, I haven't seen it so far. Maybe we should go for the third hint. Oh my God. I just go ahead with the third hint.
Before Christmas.
Okay, João. It was, I think, João that just wrote it in. December the 8th. Yeah, it was Joe. I think I'm getting so many messages here that I see Mario guessed December the 8th, and I think Joao as well put December the 8th there. Not sure exactly who was the first. Okay, so it was December the 8th, 2012. And now we need to check who was the very first one to type that in. I think it was either Joao or Mario in the chat section. So thank you for. We had a third hint, but we didn't need that one. So thank you again for joining into this quiz. We'll investigate if it was. Anyway, this chat keeps recorded, so we're gonna check if it was you, Joao. I think it was you. Let me bring that. Just a second. I see Mario here, and I see, but I think I saw Joao putting here. Yeah, this one. Can you bring it in, Vincent, please? Can you show Joao's? It's at 10. Well, my time here, 10:46, 31 seconds. I think it's the first one, writing December the 8th here. So I think Joao is the winner, and he is from Torrens University. If it's the Joao, I know he's from Torrens University in Australia. So thank you for joining us from Australia today, Joao. And yeah, I think he's the it's the first one that he yeah, it was Joao. I get a confirmation here from our notary public, and yeah. So thank you, Vincent, for the confirmation. So the winner is Torrens University, Australia, Joao Negro. Thank you for joining. And Mario, you were very close, Mario. So you were the second. We'll see what we can do for you on this. And thank you for joining us again, everybody, today. I hope you like the new brand. You can visit the new FPP website at fpp.world. So not fppedu.media anymore. It's fpp.world. So you can go now and type that in and visit the new FPP website. And of course, you can join us in our social medias. There we have the comment from Joao that he posted. So you can follow us in our social medias, and you will keep seeing more of the new brand and the new FPP and new solutions and new ideas that we have coming into the future. Thank you, Julio. I'm not sure if you want to add anything.
No, I just want to thank everybody. It was very nice. I saw lots of your comments. I see names that I know, names that I don't know. Thank you for all your comments. I'm sorry we couldn't comment on everything. And thank everybody from FPP here. I know you guys are here. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, my point is exactly that one at the very end, just thanking enormously all the team that was involved into this. As I said before, this is fully in-house made. So from those videos, there are our motion designers, the website, that's our designers, our IT team. This was a full project done in-house, and I am very proud of the team that we have at FPP, everyone contributing to building this future as we're building it here. And I'll keep saying that we don't resist, we don't deny change at FPP, and change is positive because we are being more useful and we're being more helpful for students. So thank you for all the team at FPP. And it's this team, every time you see one of these shapes, you see one that is dark blue, you see one that is orange. Every time you see one of these shapes, that is representing one of our team members. And that's why they are on everything. In the new brand, all those small shapes. And that's why, because we're a diverse team with many different people in different parts of the world, with many different cultures, with many different backgrounds, many different nationalities. And that's why all the shapes have different colors, have different shapes, and they come together to do what we love to do, that is bond the world. So thank you again, everybody, for taking the time and joining us today. Thank you, Julio, and thank you to our team for getting this ready today.